Ahoy, you mateys, and welcome aboard. I am rattle'in, and today I got a video that's gonna rattle your bones. We're talking yet again about Idubbz and his salty siren wife, Anissa. As a tale as old as time, yet again they are fighting with the H3H3 podcast, more specifically Ethan Klein. For those of you who don't know, Idubbz and Ethan Klein have had a long rivalry. Ever since they were friends, something happened, probably Anissa, and now they're not, but now they take pot shots at each other. Before we get talking about the rest of this, shout out to me hearty crew. I love all me subscribers, every one of you. I'm not the biggest fan of Ethan Klein. In fact, I know nothing about him except for that he had a podcast with that one girl, Trisha, and all I know about her is she was in that one Eminem video back in the early 2000s. That's all I know. I recently, not too recently, this is about a year ago, right? But I heard about Ethan Klein when Hassan and his gaggle of lackeys were trying to say that Ethan Klein abuses his children, lets them crawl around on floors filled with dog feces, and consumes them. This allegation came out because one of Ethan's kids got sick, and I don't remember what he got sick with. It could have been hand, foot, and mouth disease or something like that. But he got sick with what I know as a common illness in children who are crawling, playing in playgrounds, or at school, because this is a common thing. This is like calling DFS on somebody who their kid has lice. For those of you who don't know, almost every kid at least once, no matter what, gets lice. Even if your schools are clean, the playground isn't. Even if the playground's clean, one of your members at school isn't. You know, vice versa. This is a common thing, especially with children. Children get sick, they eat your food, and they say crazy things. That's just how it is. They use this as a weapon, though. They did call DFS, which don't know, that is the Department of Child Services that will come and take your kids if you're not taking care of them. Growing up in awful conditions, I had multiple run-ins with DHFS, DFS, whatever you call it. In my opinion, they're useless. I know that's really going to rattle some people's bones, but I grew up in a failed household. The system failed me more times than I could believe. My school failed me. The adults around me failed me. DFHS, sorry, there's so many ways of saying it. Growing up, it was DFS, that's what you call it. Then now it's DHFS or whatever. There's so many abbreviations. It's a failed organization of the government that's supposed to help kids. They don't. And as recently in the big 2-6, we learned there's worse things the DHS is doing than not helping kids. Let's not poke around that. I like me having a channel. I may be a pirate. That don't mean the government won't shoot me down as fast as they would anybody else. Moving on from that, quickly. So they use DHFS. I'm just going to call it whatever. There multiple times. They used it as a weapon trying to get his kids taken away because one of his kids got sick, which is messed up. Now, if Ethan Klein was a terrible person who abuses his children, I'm sure things would come out. Especially with how many people want him to see his career fail, want to see him in jail, want to see his kids taken away. This obviously would have happened. There would have been a lot of, merit to their allegations. Commodore Hassan and his gaggle of lackeys love targeting people in groups and waves, sending their community after them, so on and so forth. We've seen it with Throgan, Dynamos, who I'm pretty sure called, we have a lot of, I won't say anything too much, this is all allegedly, but I'm pretty sure she had something to do with the first call to get his children taken away. But now a new menace has arisen in the seas, mateys. He comes from the high skies, a witch riding his rave. He is the Red Dragon, Idubbz. For those of you who aren't aware, pretty sure it was like Friday, something like that, Idubbz started a stream to about 10 people as usual, but this time he had a VTuber model of a dragon. Now, he proceeded to talk in this dragon in a really cringy voice, talking about my queen and things like that, referring to Anissa. Pretty cringe, and that's coming from a skeleton pirate. But if it wasn't worse for that, he had this watermark on his stream, basically said, Ethan Klein is a PDF file who hurts his children. Now, we all know what that means, despite my sugared language. We all can know what that means. And he had that up for like the dang all stream, as far as I know. Of course, I didn't watch the stream because I'm not paying for to watch Idubbz streams. I will rip the VODs off YouTube, or I'll find a YouTuber to rip them from. Because, after all, mateys, I am a pirate. Anyhow, enough of Hassan and his lackeys. We're going to focus a little more on the topic at hand. The dragon rider, and Ethan Klein. Yet again, another pathetic attempt to get Ethan Klein's children taken away, to paint him in the worst light possible, and so on and so forth. This saying, what I assume is now a copy pasta, that's what it looks like, came from Destiny. Yes, Destiny. For those who don't know, Destiny is a sailor of the seas, and the words he says, you rather not see. If someone had a job and their whole job was clickbaitable, like, captions and phrases, or pointed weapons at people, pointed phrases at people like weapons, then it would be Destiny the streamer. Now, I don't watch anything of Destiny. Usually, I don't touch the poop. That's the fun of it. I don't touch the poop, and I urge you not to either. However, I did find most that I needed on the Ethan Klein podcast of H3H3. They do their VODs. So go check them out if you want the full video. He talks about it more in depth with his friends and a lot more going on than I could just say. Also, shout out to Sensitive Society. I saw his video on the matter very first, and I knew it was a good day for the unemployed. I think it's sick, sailors, mateys, me hearty crew. I think it is sick going after people's children. I don't care. Or if they're a bad person, right, obviously that has merit, but if it had merit, things would have happened. But the reason that things aren't happening is because he's not abusing his kids. At least that's what I got from this. One of his kids got sick. That's scary, let alone. But now you have the whole half of the internet coming at you because of Commodore Hassan. For those who don't know what I'm referencing, I love the Pirates of the Caribbean. Who doesn't? I mean, I ain't a pirate. Come on, right? There's a character called Barbossa, and he's kind of crap. It reminds me of Hassan. Every time Hassan says something stupid or shocks a dog, and everyone rushes to defend him, it's like, yeah, there's Commodore Hassan and his gaggle of lackeys defending him in an echo fart chamber, constantly reverberating their own farts into their noses. If you can't tell, I'm not the biggest fan of these people. Because most of these people just come at you for no dang reason. I mean, do you guys remember that Tectone fiasco? that was great, wasn't it? Throgan saying some awful stuff about Tectone and his, because Tectone and everybody else he knows was like veterans, and she said awful things about veterans, and he called her, well, I can't say what he called her, but it was very accurate, both things. Maybe I call PHAT. And the rest you could guess. Like I said, kind of accurate. Based? Yar, we do be sailing now. Gotta wave this black flag, let them know I'm coming. No, I think it's pretty awful though. All jokes aside, his whole again, I keep saying it because it's really funny, but his whole group of people that huff every fart he ever takes is really embarrassing. And nothing rages my bait more. Nothing boils me non-existent blood. I think it's quite, I don't know. I'm stuck on this because as someone who has a lot of people he cares about in his life, all me hearty crew, I couldn't imagine someone trying to take that away from me. Like, I couldn't imagine, they're like, Rattle Bones, you abuse your hearty crew. And I'd be like, no, never. I just make them shiver me timbers. No, it's, awful. And like I said, I'm stuck on it. But what I think, what everybody should think is, if you have beef with someone, you go after them, right? Especially online. It's fun to park your ship to ship, and shoot cannons at one another. But by all means, you do not aim those cannons at someone's family. You don't do that. That is the taboo of the internet. I, a new YouTuber, know this. You, people who watch YouTube, know this. Old YouTubers who've been around for 15 plus years should know this. Especially someone who would go around saying the N-word on videos for a cringy clickbait. And a cringy attire for a cringy audio beast. Audio based. For a cringy fan based. Me blood so boiled, my bones so rattled I can't even speak today. I will admit, I am very, very mad at the fact they're going after his children. Like, you both are YouTubers who are gaining monetization and money off of going at each other. That's the beauty of the internet, right? We can shoot cannons at each other back and forth, and it will never affect us in our real life because it shouldn't, unless you're real monsters. And again, I have a feeling Ethan Klein isn't a monster. Maybe he's not the best person, especially online. Maybe he says crazy stuff. But from what I've seen, and I've only seen a little, so do take that into consideration. Remember, a pirate's opinion, mostly wrong. But from what I've seen, he's not the most person in the world. He doesn't say everything I agree with, but a lot of times, he's calling out PDF files online. Here, mateys, that's almost what I do. That's kind of what I do, you know what I mean? I'm calling out bad people. I would hate for someone to come after me and my family because of that. Now, if you disagree with him, that's fine. Shoot back in a video. That's what you're supposed to do. Why are we crossing this line of going after people's children? Stop it. Knock it off. Me hearty crew, I'd ask you kindly of your Captain Rattles to never go after someone's family in an argument or a fight. They may be a bigger man, but isn't that the fun of it? I'm a Souls player, so even if I get into a fight with a big man out in the street, even if he beats me up to a pulp and breaks my bones, whatever, I'm not going to go after his family. I'm not going to find where he lives and go after him again. Revenge is one thing. Shooting back is another thing. But by all means, you do not go after someone's kids. This Idubbz thing, if you couldn't tell, has really rattled me, because I do not like it when people cross this line. A very clear line in the sand. A crazy world where I'm trying to defend Ethan Klein against someone like Idubbz and his very mean wife. Now, we're going to cover some of the VODs. I'm going to play some of them here. And I'm going to have you guys formulate your opinion.
If you don't keep this up, I'm not resubbing tomorrow. Please, 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 I need your subs. Look at this, the Denny's patrons. They're rapidly declining. We need your subs. We need them now. Oh my, I actually just realized I can flare my nostrils. And they legit flare in the IRL. I mean, in the dragon. Give a hot pedo troll take in the voice. There's one character online that I'm not a fan of, mainly because he and his pedo troll podcast disrespects my queen. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Bro, I'm not in favor of disrespecting her. I encourage the bull to, that's the whole point. Like, he respects her fully. And you just sit back and admire the respect. Look at all the respect.
That's right, Vanilla Mace.
So anyway,
They've
this
been
is
yapping about my queen, Vanilla.
this is the backstory. So now this is him reacting to our segment, and he is fucking pissed. He is not happy.
Fabulous. There's a website here.
So here he is on Snark, which he spends all day on this. It's actually, it's fucking wild, bro.
I just stumbled upon it last night.
How
This one's quite interesting, to be honest.
Dude, first of all, how embarrassing to just even admit that you spend so much time on a Snark subreddit, even if it's someone you despise.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I'm on this Snark subreddit all day. So this a lot of people thought was a little too much even for him.
I read this last night, and I said, this seems like something someone might want to address.
So it says, quick daily reminder that Ethan from age 3 is likely a pedophile who has molested his own children. It's a comment. Funny. Everybody's laughing. How funny and cool. And by the way, as this is a guy I used to be friends with in real life who's met my family and stuff, like, there are certain things you don't joke about. And that's kind of why this whole mess started, is because because of what Denim said. Why CPS came to my house, and you fucking encouraged it. So, like, where in your empathy journey did you decide it was okay to affect my children, not just online and say like I molest them, which is just not like what's funny about that, but where CPS is actually coming to my house and interviewing them. I mean, where is that on the empathy scale? Not sure.
What in the world is that? It says Ethan Klein, dance word love, Zach Louis Thoreau, attack Madison and her husband. Madison gets called a Nazi again. They bring up her husband's military service, calling him a war criminal.
Why don't you?
Pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah, that's the joke. I mean, that's the joke, right? Because you say Elo's a war criminal, and I'm like, well, Mr. Iraq vet over here, what'd you throw in that burn pit, buddy? You know what I mean?
Wretched Zionists.
That's
Apparently-
fucking crazy. That's crazy. Just wretched Zionists out of nowhere. Dude, he's in over his head.
Ethan Klein put up some sort of pedophile-related billboard, presumably because everyone hates him and he wants attention. Me and Anissa.
Ethan, didn't you say you were saying no one was covering the removal of the billboard? I mean, Ian's covering it.
It's true.
Right.
What's
There's some
interesting is
coverage.
he really is. It's not even subtle sweeping for James Charles.
Dream.
So this part is crazy. He puts up this comment as a permanent watermark on his stream. Quick daily reminder that Ethan Klein from HC is likely a pedophile who molests his own children. He's lost his mind. That's such a crazy thing. Like, even for someone you hate.
I don't
It's
want
just
any of my
unhinged.
content being stolen. But I'm putting it on screen because I think it should be addressed because it's a
Why?
big, bold accusation that's very fucked up. Enlarge it says, so Destiny is a reliable source of info now? Or is it only people we don't like? We? Who's we? You? I don't know who you are. Also, I will say that I think Ethan Klein is terrified of this guy. To me, it's super funny that...
I did like a whole 3-hour podcast calling him a pedophile. That's the last time I spoke about him. And pretty much the only time I've spoke about him. You know? What's funny too is like this whole pedo troll thing is a Destiny talking point. And I mean, he's an orbiter. He's become like a Destiny orbiter fanboy.
Well, he wants to be like Hassan,
He has
right?
so...
Yeah.
Oh, it's part of the step. You gotta
True,
become
true.
Destiny
First, you need to be a
first.
Destiny orbiter. You need to start in Destiny's orbit to
If Destiny was
he's
my
just following
roommate,
the
I'd get
steps.
him-
terrified of him. He would never talk about him. Destiny mogs Ethan so hard.
The imp has something to say.
Oh.
The imp would like to say that the person who is
Finally, Anissa sounds as hideous as she is. Not physically, but like metaphysically. That sound is like how she looks in real life, and how just like the vibe.
the question about Destiny and whether or not we're now using him as a valid source.
You are.
I know what you smell and look like, and your mother hates you.
Oh, so you don't have a response for why you're using Destiny talking points. In other words,
Whoa.
Die, but in a video game, of course. The imp knows that AB has a chin implant as well.
what a fucking. By the way, this is all snark shit.
No,
this-
it's true. So I got literally something in my hair. It's true. No, she.
Yeah, mateys, Rattle thinks that this is very telling. All Idubbz and Anissa is doing is constantly making videos that you have to pay to watch to, so they're streaming to 10 people and you gotta pay to watch it, and all they're doing is either orbiting Destiny and or Hassan and their echo fart chambers, or they're drooling over people they don't like Ethan Klein. They are failing, and why this is because they're not making any money. Obviously, they're pulling these rabbits out of their butt because they need the money. I think Now, at first, I was really mad about this, but the more I talk about it, the more I stir with it, I'm starting to realize something, me crew. I think they're doing it for the bait. I think that they are so low on money and so out of touch with reality, and they have no one coming to them for like their content or what they can create, only to make fun of them, that they're leaning into it, again, because they're in a financial need. It's 2026. Almost every American's in financial need nowadays. So, what do? Pull rabbits out of their butt, or in this case, dragons out of their butt. Pasted a huge copy pasta about how Ethan Klein's a PDF file, and then they're going to play with that for a little bit. They're going to dingle it in front of your face like keys, and every one of us, including myself, are going to make videos about it. What they don't understand is more people hate them than like them. I'm pretty sure it's like a 9 out of 1 ratio at this point. Nobody likes them, and even if you do make fake drama for people to make videos on, you're still going to be the laughing stock. And how much money are you getting out of that? Now, I know, sailors, any publicity is good publicity. Bad, good, it's going to bring people to your content. Not if it's paid. I don't know who's out there paying for Idubbz content to get these VODs, but God bless ya, and you're welcome on me boat any day of the week. Because you are doing the God's work, man. You are putting food on these tables, you know what I mean? I could not imagine sitting through like an hour or two of Idubbz going, I am a dragon and this is my horde. Do not mess with me, queen. Like, okay, I guess went a little Dracula there, but yeah, you've seen it. You know what I mean. This is cringe. Again, this is coming from a undead skeleton pirate who makes content videos. And I'm calling this cringe. Man, word. Now, make no mistake, I love a good VTuber. Some of my friends are VTubers, and that's okay. I don't know if I really wanted to be a VTuber. I'm kind of okay with just a talking skeleton. You don't really gotta move. I mean, I'm just a skeleton after all. You want to see me do a little jig? Well, no, I'm dead, and I'll probably fall apart. But what I'm saying is, it's not the fact that he's trying to be a VTuber. It's the fact that it's Idubbz trying to be a VTuber. He's not trying to hide it. This wasn't a Cyrax situation where Cyrax made a new YouTube account and he's trying to pass off as this new VTuber. No, this is same setup, same name, everything. It's just now I'm a dragon. Now watch me call Ethan Klein a PDF file while I'm a dragon. At least I show my real face. Like, I'm gonna be that serious. I am just an undead skeleton. If you were to come meet me in real life, you would see I'm on the port. I'm just a dead bag of bones. But really, it's kind of weird. I mean, this isn't just talking crap. You're actively calling someone a title that could affect every man's life and ruin any man's career. This is the same with essay allegations. You have to use them when it is needed. If this person is a PDF file or they have essayed someone, we have to know. Everybody has to know. So we don't support these guys. So we're not defending the right team. You know what I mean? So we're doing the right things and handling it correctly to get these people off the platforms and into a jail cell. Or better yet, a nice dirt grave unmarked even. All right? Listen, I'm just digging for treasure. If I find a body there, well, it ain't treasure. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I ain't gonna tell. Now, don't listen to the old rattle. He's just preaching on to his crew. But I'm not opposed to the idea of them getting deplatformed, especially if they're bad people. Now, we have seen multiple times, I'm thinking about making a video on this, which is why I'm saying something, but we have seen multiple times where good men have bad accusations against them, and it ruins their whole career. And it is awful, because a lot of the times, not every time, I have to stress this, because unfortunately I'm one of the people who almost always want to believe the victims first, because it's horrific. Why wouldn't I at least think about it? But I always try to do as much research as I can on the matter, because one, I don't want to be spreading misinformation unless it's funny. Two, I am not trying to defend someone who is a monster. If I'm against anybody in this world, you know who it is. All right, Pirates rule number 1. Don't go after women, children, or animals. Pirates rule number 2. Always have fun. Pirates rule number 3. Never start the day without rum and me. But all jokes aside, I know I'm trying to lighten it up a little bit. All jokes aside, I do not condone any of this, and I don't condone falsely accusing people. It's messed up, especially people who have kids. What if the wrong or right people saw these videos, saw these claims, and they decided to act without anything involved? There are crazy people out there who will find where you live and try to take justice in their own hands. What if this delusional take on Ethan Klein, especially with the fart chamber that's going on over there with Destiny and Hassan, one of the viewers who's maybe mental in the head or sick in the head, and they think, I gotta save those kids. We've seen it time and time again. I mean, how many crazy people are out there saying they're from the future? People are insane. I'm insane. I'm literally a skeleton. What if I do something crazy? You know what I mean? And I want to take justice in my own hands because now I'm Batman. Where is she? You know what I mean? Like the vigilante type thing. And they break into Ethan's house and try to take his kids. Because they think, because it's been plastered everywhere, that he's a PDF file. And what if he's not? Which is one of the scariest parts, because again, what I've seen is there's almost no merit. They are just calling him a PDF file because it will get views, it will get clicked on, and it will hurt the reputation of a father. That is the lowest of the low. Both of them, the sinking sailor and his salty siren wife, should be at the bottom of Davy Jones's locker. Forever in the brig, scrubbing a poop deck that's forever pooped. This is horrible. The freaking Wicked Witch of the West riding her red dragon in, burning the whole village of Ethan Klein down like the fucking Game of Thrones. I'll tell you what though, it's real annoying. I am a salty sailor now. I'm very salty about the situation. Take pot shots, by all means. Make fun of and laugh at each other, because at the end of the day, that's probably the only thing that's going to get Idubbz views. I almost expect it, but the route he's going right now is horrible, and I'm horrified to see what comes next. If today's to 20 viewers, he's saying that this person's a PDF file. What's tomorrow? What is tomorrow going to bring? Nothing good, mateys. Nothing good at all. Nothing as far as the eye could steam. A wall of clouds in the horizon, dark and gloomy. I keep getting tongue twisted, but I'm very rattled about it. It irks my nerves. You know what I'm saying? I wish people like this would just stick to their usual guns. Why can't Idubbz just get abused by his wife on stream? And people can make a video out of that, and then he can cry that Ethan Klein responded to him or his wife abusing him. Which leads me into my next segment, mateys. Did you ever wonder why did he do this? Was it out of nowhere, or could Rattle be right? Could he just be needing those extra views? Well, it turns out it's because Ethan Klein made fun of his wiener, his bone, on one of his podcasts. And Idubbz decided it was time to retaliate. He made fun of my wiener, so I'm gonna call him a PDF file and try to have his kids taken away. Well, it turns out it wasn't even like that. Ethan Klein didn't even make fun of his wiener on the podcast. They watched and reacted to a clip of Anissa making fun of Idubbz and his wiener. And he can't stand that. It's one thing if Anissa makes fun of him online, but God forbid another man make fun of me. That's a little in the wrong direction of what kind of humiliation he likes. The only good humiliation for Idubbz is from his wife. We are never allowed to say it about him. And if we do say anything bad about him, we're all PDF files. Maybe one day I should make a video on my unhappiness with Destiny and Hassan's gaggle of lackeys. They're grunts. They're a rotted crew. But until then, mateys, I think this is all they got for Idubbz until he does something extremely awful again. And if there's one thing we can count on, the seas will sail, the flags will fly, Idubbz is gonna be a cuck until we die. Well, that's all the tale I have to tell this one, mateys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you give a nice subscribe. I hope you like the video and join me, Hearty crew. I also have a TikTok just made, file I can post on there again, rattle'in 14, rattle'in 14, almost everywhere. I got a Twitch that I do stream on Saturdays at 4:30 CST every Saturday. Catch me there. And I'll see you in the next one. Farewell, me mateys.